Well, hello and welcome to another video from the Computer Techie, and you'll have to excuse the noise, but of course we are working on some switching stuff today with some servers and whatever you, so it'll be a little bit noisy. Anyhow, we are going to be looking at the 3-con baseline switch. In this case you can actually see the model number at the top of the screen there. And we're looking at setting up VLANs on this as requested by one of my YouTube viewers. It's quite easy to set up, apart from that I'd actually managed to mess it up the first time, and I'll explain how I did that so hopefully no one else makes the mistake if you're not thinking about what you're doing. So let's get started. Normally you'll come to the summary page when you log in. So just come over to the left hand side here and click VLANs to access your VLAN configuration. And as you can see here, our default VLAN is VLAN 1 and all the tags are, all the ports are untagged, meaning that they just work as normal ports. Tag ports mean you can send 2 or more VLANs down one port, and not a member means it will not be the VLAN will not be associated with that port at all. So to add a new VLAN, all we have to do is click this drop down box and click create new VLAN. We can then add a number, so I'm going to go for 2, and then here we can select any ports if we want to. Not a member, I would say I'd leave it as not a member to start off with now. But there is of course this button here which will select them all, and last time I did this I put them all as untagged, forgetting that VLAN 1 was untagged, and of course I completely messed up my access to the switch because now every single port had 2 VLANs on it, both untagged, and so, well, it just doesn't work. So in this case I would recommend, if you're setting up a new VLAN, just to leave it all as not a member. Go ahead and click apply, and that will have applied that VLAN now. Now we have VLAN 1 and VLAN 2. So we have VLAN 2 selected, and say I wanted to have port 13 as having 2 VLANs down it, so I'm going to put that one as tagged. I'm going to hit apply. I'm then going to go and select VLAN 1, and I might want to send VLAN 1 down port, was it port 13? Yeah, it was, down port 13 as well. So in that case I then select port 13 as a tagged port as well. So now if I have a computer or another switch or whatever you device on the other end, it will then what is it doing? That's interesting. It's not putting port 13 as tagged. I bet if I create a new VLAN it'll do it. So as I was saying, if you have one port tagged with 2 VLANs and you have another device on the other end, computer, switch, whatever you then set that up to accept the 2 VLANs. You can accept the 2 virtual networks together. So say you might have VLAN 3 would be connected to, say, a storage network, and then VLAN 2 would be connected to, say, the work network for all the other PCs. Only you would be able to access the storage network because none of your other PCs on your work network will be attached to that VLAN, so it's good for separating things like that out. So say VLAN 3 was our storage network, we then wanted port 46 to be the main connection for we want to go down to VLAN 1, and I'm actually going to put VLAN 1 under. If I do that I'll disconnect myself. Great. If I put VLAN 1, let's just tag No, because that will also disconnect me. You really have to think about how you're doing these VLANs when I'm showing you, because I've just kind of jumped into this. So VLAN 2, we've put port 13 as tagged. I'm going to untag port 1 because I'm connected to port 1. And I'm also going to put port 1 as no member. I'm going to put port... No, that is correct. So port 1 is no member. As long as everything is no member, you don't have two ports as one port, both VLANs as untagged. You can't mess it up. I have to be careful about port 1 because that's the one I'm connected to. So what I was thinking about there was I was going to put port 47 as untagged on VLAN 3 because that was going to be our storage server. So in this case, VLAN 1 is for everything as untagged. I then want to put port 47 as no member on VLAN 1. Click apply. And I then want to come over to VLAN 3 and I then want to put port 47 as untagged and click apply. So now I can connect any normal device that doesn't require me to have a VLAN specified on port 47. So that could be a NAS box or a single server, a dumb switch, or whatever you could be connected to port 47. I can then access that port 47 through my tags VLAN 3 on port 13. So now say I want to also connect to the work network, which I said was VLAN 2. But remember, VLAN 1 is still configured for all of those ports, so we might want to go across and put the access to the VLAN. So all the computers are going to be on VLAN 2. I'm going to have my backbone for VLAN 2 to connect to, say, 2 floors over port 46. I then want to put that as no member on VLAN 1, and I then want to come over to VLAN 2 and then put that as an untagged port. So now down port 13 I can have my PC with VLAN 13, VLAN 2 and VLAN 3 set up, and I can then connect to both networks through that single cable, shall we say. But what if I want to connect another port on another switch on another VLAN? So say on VLAN 2 we had, say, going down that backbone into another room or whatever, we have another switch on another VLAN. So we're connecting to 2 VLANs now. Well, we can leave it as untagged, but what if you've got 2 VLANs going down that single port? Well, then we put it as a tagged port. And we click apply. And then we might have that storage thing going down the same backbone. So we then tag port 46 as well. So now everything in the second office connected to port 46 can then access our storage network. So that is how you set up the VLANs on the 3-con baseline switch. I hope that's explained it. I might have explained other things a little bit better in the Netgear one. But this interface was slightly different. I like the fact that it actually tells you what the U, the T and the N means, so you don't forget. But yeah, just watch out for, say, VLAN 1 being the main thing, that everything is untagged. Treats it as a normal switch, and then we end up making it a little bit smarter by putting the VLANs on. So just be careful about that, because I had created a new VLAN. And then I put everything as untagged, like that, not thinking that VLAN 1 was also untagged. I hit apply and then I locked myself out the switch because of course I couldn't access it once two VLANs are untagged on one port. It just doesn't work. So that is how you set up the VLANs on a 3COM switch. In this case you have the model number up here. I have no idea whether it's any different, any of their newer ones or any of their older ones, because this is the only 3COM switch I have. But if you have any other questions, or if you like this video, then of course give it a thumbs up. If you thought it was a complete pile of pants, then go ahead and give it a thumbs down. If you've got any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And of course I'll see you guys in the next video.